Welcome back, everyone. You're looking at the Outpost in Hollywood, where people have gathered to enjoy the LCS, and everyone there was going as crazy as we were with Turtle's Last Stand on the Nexus. And that game, yes, as we said before, as exciting as ever. But to turn our attention to the match at hand, WinterFox versus Team Dignitas. Now, the last time these teams met in Week 2, WinterFox came out on top. And right now, they're on something of a hot streak with 3 straight wins.
Yeah, their new support is not afraid to pull the trigger and make those aggressive initiations. In the game against Team Liquid yesterday, Imagine came up with his debut performance with several huge Flash Tibbers engages that allowed the rest of his team to clean up the kills and take the lead. The spot that Glebe left has been filled very quickly by a support with a very similar style.
Yeah, it's so far been really good. And of course, the old standbys of WinterFox have been still very great. Alltech, he's been consistently great. He's been a top fantasy performer. His kill scores have been awesome. He can play team fighters like Sivir, or he can play gigantic hyper carries. His last 3 games, he's got a 45 KDA with 1 death. That's been amazing. It's also worth pointing out that not only is Imagine here, but the coach Paragon is also here, right? This full Korean-speaking team now is here, which means Alltech's a little bit on an island, but AD carries are brainless anyway. You just follow it off engages.
He doesn't mind.
It's okay.
Freak would know. That's
yeah, oh no.
ADC.
I mean, I do shot call, but like, I'm not saying it's good.
Yeah, I'm not saying that either. Well, while WinterFox are feeling a surge of confidence, Team Dignitas are coming off one of their most one-sided defeats at the hands of CLG.
Yeah, honestly, this team was really put on their heels. It was a great level 1 attempt by them, but it was a little bit misplayed. CLG got the better of them on that one. And then there was the really cool sort of wave proxy. CLG basically got behind the turret before Dignitas did. If Dig were 10 seconds earlier, they would have absorbed XP and been fine, but they were 10 seconds late. And then they got zoned off of like 4 straight waves. And when that happens, you're just way too far behind to make any reasonable comeback.
Yeah, I absolutely loved what Dignitas did originally with the idea, because everybody wants that deep ward to see the lane swap.
Right.
If you just hide out in the wolf pit, we heard the interview, who does that?
Yeah, they got a 5-man Rek'Sai style. Like, it should have been good. It just, too close.
Then on the other side, it's actually really smart what they did to Gamsu from CLG's side. He's been a consistently strong point for the team, and they were able to set him back with their chokehold on the top lane, and they handled the other bright spot for Team Dignitas, which was their bottom lane. This is a lane that was constantly impressing us, but they banned out the Annie and they banned out the Sivir. So Core JJ and Kiwi Kid did not get their main champions, which we've seen them perform very well on. They were taken away from them. Yeah. And then they were kind of hindered. Is like, there's your crutch, it's gone. Now limp around.
It's impressive how much one ban actually managed to make an impact on those 2 players' performances.
Yeah.
Yep, and those are those little bits of innovation that we were talking about with CLG. You know, they kind of tweaked that early game strategy, and it took, Dignitas off guard. It makes you question whether or not their early game is struggling with the shot calling, because they didn't even make the decision to leave the lane.
Yeah.
Well, if you're curious how Kiwi felt after the loss, you only have to look on Twitter to get his reaction. But mild soreness aside, Kiwi told us the team is synergizing well with their new jungler, and yesterday was just an aberration.
Cloudwind's been settling pretty well into our team. He's bringing like this attitude and like a lot of like back and forth like conversation that we've like really needed ever since Crumbs left, and I guess for like a while too. Yesterday, it really wasn't his fault. It was chaotic, and obviously like CLG just trampled all over us from level 1.
Well, it looks like they don't want to have that happen again today, by the way Kiwi Kid was talking. So let's get into the game with a look at the starting lineups. On the blue side, it will be WinterFox. That's Avalon in the top lane, Helios in the jungle, Pobelter in mid, Alltech at 80 carry, and Imagine at support for these guys now.
And on the red side, it's Team Dignitas with Gamsu up top, Cloudwind in the jungle, Shifter mid, Core JJ 80 carry, and Kiwi Kid support, as you just heard him.
Saw Gamsu warming up his arm a little bit earlier. He's actually the top laner at 10 for CS. So he's been doing really well. A strong point for a solo lane for Dignitas. So teams have been trying to take him out early. Some of his builds have been a little unorthodox, but they have also come out for the top lane big time. Talking about coming out big time, WinterFox, as Dash said, has 3 wins in their favor now. They've been running real strong these past few weeks, and they could make it 4 in a row here as they take on Dig.
All right. Straight off the bat, targeting Gamsu.
Yeah.
Don't want to let him have that rumble again.
Definitely makes an impact for the team.
We've seen a couple of rumbles today so far. Ball's definitely an influential rumble. Gamsu has had success in the past, so
Yep.
Make it the full time on the bans here. We're going to stick with that top lane. So whenever we whittle down that top lane champion pool, it gets interesting. Lissandra's still up as the Morgana comes in, which, by the way, can be considered top lane ban.
Yeah.
If you look at other regions in the world.
Absolutely. Even EU right now has been doing a little bit of top lane Morg. Bans now.
Now, the Gnar has really fallen off in North America. A lot of the top laners in North America devaluing that champion from his previous #1 spot.
Yeah.
Plus with a few tweaks coming for Gnar in the latest patch, reducing the time that you really get to use Mega Gnar.
Right.
Closing that window just a little bit.
Teams have just been taking to it too easily. Keeping an eye on Gnar wherever he is around the map and knowing the engagement window of that bar is something you want to avoid. Annie gets banned out as we continue the bans with Zed as well from Dignitas.
I really am looking at Lissandra here. If I'm Dignitas, I look at the past success of Winter Fox.
Okay.
And it always comes when they have Avalon and Helios on this hard engage. There you go. Good last ban there from Dignitas.
Oh.
Homework done well.
That is a very for sure pick there coming in for Pole Belcher, the blind pick Ari to start off Winter Fox when they had the pick of the litter. Anything was on the board.
Yeah, well, the other part of the strategy for Winter Fox, not only is it the Shin brothers on hard CC, it is Pobelter on an assassin.
Yep. Get the Fox.
And there is Ari, even after her tweaks in the last patch. Range nerfs aside, still extremely strong, as we've seen Bjergsen perform with her. Very potent from the mid lane. Jarvan, still a premier top laner. We've seen Cloud win on a lot of the attack damage sort of brawling junglers that are so commonplace in the current landscape of League of Legends. See how he does this time around.
The bans allow for pretty much any jungler to be picked up here. Not something that either of these teams thought needed to be focused. So there will be a Jarvan, I believe, going over the side of Dignitas for Cloud win. We just heard Kiwi Kid talking about how he's been a good voice of reason and somebody they can bounce things off of, which they have been missing for quite some time. Kassadin and Jarvan for Dignitas locked in.
Okay, so Shifter back on an assassin. He has started to play assassins more and more recently, and they did find some success. We will see if they put Core JJ back on to Sivir. Ooh, already Gravelock in though, so maybe that will dissuade him. However, they have been lane swaps aplenty.
That's the 4th game in a row for Pobelter on Graves. 8-0-7 and 3-0-5 for the past 2. Definitely going to be putting up some power in there. We see the Scion again coming in for Avalon, something that he can kind of get himself into danger with. Throw himself into that fight as he likes to play.
So the problems that have appeared with Winter Fox's playstyle is when Avalon's on a champion with less reliable CC. Scion is definitely a champion that fits that bill. If Avalon decides to go in and the rest of the team thinks otherwise, you cannot stop yourself on Scion. Plus, his CC much harder to land, all relying on skill shots, so we'll see how he performs this time around.
It's kind of like a gift.
Side.
If you hit your ult, you can hit the CC. Otherwise, you're pretty hard up for hitting that CC.
Yeah, and Pobelter at least is on a champion with 3 dashes, so he can reposition very easily and follow up.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, Core JJ back on this Sivir. He's performed so well on this champion. This is, for me, this is the Core JJ signature champion while he's been in North America. So definitely happy with the playmaking ability of the Kiwi Kid Core JJ lineup. Back to the same combo that they like to run.
The first time these guys
with
played,
Thresh as well.
Ultec took that Sivir away from him, so I'm sure they're happy to get it this time. Put that play style back in order for Dignitas, and this is going to be the jungler here coming in for Winter Fox. They kind of hold out going into that last pick.
Wanted to see another one.
Especially from Imagine, it would have been great to see how he played that style as well.
Because so many of the Veigar supports are played in Asia.
Exactly.
Imagine just came over from Korea, so. Nope, well, it's not to be, though. They want that disengage.
Wow, Gamsu going back to Renekton. He's actually done quite well on it in the lane. He picks those safe laners, though. We did say, or I said he had that high CS at 10, and this is one of the reasons, because he picks the guys that can bully in lane and CS well safely.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see if he's able to pull off early bullying of Sion. Most Sion top laners will pick a lot of scaling runes for scaling defensive stats, but if Renekton goes pure flat, then he can gain an advantage, depending on where Sion starts. Probably they'll just do standard mini camps for their level 2 starts, but there always is that question in the back of your mind. Can they pull off one of the tricky side lane invades and get Sion an extra boost starting at a buff?
Now, being pretty safe in both lanes while having a little bit of damage, is this a lane that WinterFox is going to want to lane swap and get them to safety?
Not necessarily.
All right.
I don't feel like there's a big pressure to lane swap. I haven't seen Renekton matched up recently versus very many top laners because he has fallen off, but he definitely still has the potential to bully if he can get a lead, especially on Sion.
All right, we'll see if he can get that lead right off the bat. But right now, let us know how you think this game is going to go. Vote by sending either hashtag WFXWin or hashtag DIGWin to @LOL Esports. We'll tally those up throughout the game. See a few people in the crowd with phones out getting their votes in already. And we are going to be onto the Rift. WinterFox versus Dignitas, Game 3 here on the day. We've had some pretty crazy games so far. It looks like we're going to get a little bit of an intermission on this one, so go grab some popcorn and come back quick.
All right, so working with the information available, looks like we do have a ward start here from Avalon on the Sion. So he went with the common stacking of crystalline, flask, and potions, but sacrificed a couple health potions for the stealth ward. Also did not decide to go, and he's going to be facing a Doran's Blade Renekton, so he might actually end up trying to avoid that. Sion is really strong in the 2 versus 1, so that question that you posed,
that's the next question. I was going to say.
I think they may be leaning more heavily towards that, especially seeing the openings here. So
right, making sure he can have a ward behind him, or at least towards his backside to stay safe from a early gank.
Yeah, and he's got plenty of mana, so he can sustain and continue to spam out his shout. I think the more I mull that over, WinterFox may be looking for that lane swap to get Sion.
All right.
Easier time.
We are hopping back onto the Rift. Core JJ getting his settings all righted. Didn't do those before getting into the game, but he's good. The controls are ready. Everything on SmartCast as it needs to be for him, where it needs to be, and we're out of the bases. We'll see what the early game provides for us. Like we said, early wards have kind of been the textbook here for both teams to figure out what the lane swap advantage can really be.
All right, everybody heading out. Line of scrimmage start straight up and down the river so far. And he places the ward at 40 seconds inside the pixel bush to see if there's a late invade. This may be protecting him from one of those more dangerous starts. I'm not quite sure if he'll start at the buff, but he's definitely going to start at a camp. And he doesn't want to go down as a first blood to a weak invade from Dignitas. So that ward is probably just for protecting. And they're probably going to start with a really greedy level 1, starting multiple mini camps.
Yeah.
Looks like that will be the case. Renekton will be waiting for him in lane. Gamsu will get an early start on those minions. He can start charging up his rage bar, start pushing the minions in very quickly if he so decides. Meanwhile, down bottom, Core JJ is in position to group up the minions if it is a lane swap.
You just saw pings on the Krugs. Maybe
So-
possible start.
Yeah, so this is that greedy start that I was talking about. They start 3 different camps. The duo getting the experience advantage, and it will be 2 versus 2 with the duo if they stick in the current lineup. So experience advantage for WinterFox here in the duo. Just grabbing 1. Yep.
All right, so we'll see how this affects them. We've seen that level 2 from Regina we saw last game. Not a huge amount of power, but safety in the lane is much guaranteed when you get that first. Helios has no trouble taking this by himself. Actually pretty healthy after that as well from smiting it.
I think that was just really well played by WinterFox. They come out ahead in the lane swap situation. They got Sion to start a camp, so he comes in with experience advantage over this Renekton. He gets extra sustain to deal with the Doran's Blade bullying. The only problem is Dignitas might look to make him pay for it.
They had something of their own idea as well. Kiwi Kid stayed with Cloud Wind to get level 2 as well in the jungle. That means they have the hook. That means they have extra crowd control. And it seems like their level 1 came out on top.
He got the EQ damage and flashback for the extra double knockup. So that's the problem. Some of the problems with people. Okay, so let's look at it here again in slow motion. They're going for the Janet here. Easier target because the shield was already used on Graves. Uses the EQ combo, hits the damage, plus able to land the counter flash for the knockup.
Cloud Wind with the fast finger.
Really, really strong play there from Cloud Wind. And it wasn't a reactionary play. He's expecting the flash from Janet, so he knows it's coming to that side.
Yeah.
But first able to land, since at this low level you have really limited damage output. Really nicely played there by Dignitas to grab the lead in the early game, because if it had gone standard from this point on, WinterFox had experience advantage up top, they had experience advantage down bottom, and they would have been able to slowly increase that lead.
The cash on that pink ward losing out as well. We did see Helios try and grab a little bit of an advantage. He was able to deny Cloud Wind his red, seeing him on the bottom side. They don't stop from getting anything back, but a great play from Dignitas to kind of thwart that 3 camp start in the early game.
Yeah, so anytime you do spend resources like that, open yourself up to some counterplay. But
I was actually going to say
they'll definitely take it.
What could go wrong because of this? Looks like Dignitas already had that in mind.
Yep, still a good trade there for Dignitas. First blood for your red buff. Cloud Wind with some really strong early game play. We'll see how he recovers from it, because he will be slightly behind in experience. So he should be very careful about his next ganks, because Rek'Sai is going to out-level him, and he does not want to get ganked or counter-ganked by Rek'Sai. But so far, I really like the early start from Cloud Wind. As you mentioned, the pink ward kill is always a really big bonus to get it that early as well.
Good presence on the map. We'll see how quick he can actually get back out of his jungle.
He did get first blood money, so even though he's down in experience, that extra money does translate into a longsword, which will help his clear speed as well as the impact of his early ganks. And anytime you do have Kassadin on either team, it usually attracts a lot of jungler attention, because enemy junglers want to get you down as Kassadin before you hit that level 6 and you become really difficult to gank. And then your friendly junglers also want to get you with an early lead so you can start snowballing.
Well, with the game not being lane swapped, we may see a bit of action towards that mid. And it looks like Kiwi Kid has that in mind. That's the second time he's wearing a hole or a path in the middle of this river knife right now, going up and down it. It decides to go back down. They don't get the roam towards middle onto Ahri to help out Shifter. But he's not taking too much pressure other than at his turret. Is having a bit of hard time farming. Pobelter's using that blue buff to keep the harass on.
Pobelter's doing a good job, getting a little bit of a CS. They're trying to abuse the range advantage.
You can see him. Sonar's out, so the pings are there. They're letting Pobelter know to be very careful. But he also knows that they can get into this fight. Good thing he is Jarvan. A very scary situation there Cloud1 walked into. And they know that there's got to be wards inside that bottom side of the jungle for WinterFox to come up with a play like that.
Yeah, Helios really...
Oh, he's getting on him. Can't ult. Pops him up actually instantly on the ultimate. Avalon was trying to get just on the other side of Gamsu, but there's the pressure. That early game Renekton pushing Avalon around.
Yeah, here's the big bully. Renekton.
Flash.
Still working as intended. Lane bully up top. After the changes, and after the Scion started camp as well.
Even with the consumables, Gamsu was able to give him a hard time, make him drink it out. See Avalon come back with a Glacial Shroud as WinterFox makes their way to the bottom. A quick draw gets Altec to safety, and this should be theirs.
And he should add some more damage just to get him out of here quicker.
Right, yeah.
Because there's not much else for Altec to do. You want to utilize all your time really efficiently. In League of Legends, you never want to be waiting around. Doing damage to something much better here, and they should be able to get it cleaned up. Kiwi Kid might be able to get that timer.
They have the timer on the burn, right?
Go.
So he sees it go off on the members of WinterFox. First dragon over to them. Shifter has been just confined to his turret in this mid lane, and Pobelter's just auto-attacking the heck out of the turret without any fear of getting ganked.
He's level 6.
He's a little afraid now. He's
still level 6.
And swoosh. There we go. I was just waiting for it.
But I do want to revisit that dragon real quickly
Yeah.
because it seemed like, just a pickup for WinterFox. But Helios spent the last 2 minutes preparing for that dragon. He chased Cloudwind out of his own jungle, then laid 2 wards deep inside the blue jungle on the way to dragon so he could see anyone approaching, and had the bottom lane shove up. So relying on the Graves Janna, going to shove that lane, and they were able to pressure it in and add their DPS to take it down. So, well coordinated by WinterFox to earn that early dragon buff. Doesn't really make up for the gold from the first blood, but puts them right back on par for this early game.
Yep. Using the power of their team. Just hitting level 6 there. We saw Shifter wasn't yet. Now he's level 7, so they might be able to start making their own plays. But the little advantages WinterFox is gaining is a very good thing because the lanes have been quite even. You see CS isn't really in anybody's favor just now. So the small plays around the map and controlling the map are really what's getting WinterFox ahead.
Yeah, a lot of attention paid mid here as the ward coverage comes heavy for Dignitas. They are coming at the exact time that Pobelta roams topside though, so efforts wasted. The thing I really want to focus though on is the discrepancy up top. Avalon in the heads up lanes 1 versus 1 has not usually. Ooh, that's some attention up here.
Oh, high five for WinterFox members, but they're still able to turn over to Gamsu, just missing the ultimates.
All right.
They come up there, nice pinch in.
So WinterFox also want to pay attention to the match up top.
Yep.
They help out Avalon and get that kill onto Gamsu. Thing is, Gamsu, you can see he was trying to prep his aggression with deep wards. He's trying to ward for himself as a good top laner, get those deep wards down into the blue side jungle, see when he's going to get ganked, because he wants to continue on this plan. He's going early Tiamat. He wants to shove, punish Avalon, try and abuse him in lane. And it's just a good job of WinterFox jumping on the first incursion into their territory. That's why we always say the vision line gets moved up in stages.
Yep.
It's very dangerous to skip one of those stages and try and go very deep.
Right. That's
so
why
they
the
were
river,
able to collapse on him.
That's why the
Perfect
river's
timing.
so scary in the early game, because nobody has the ability to get any farther than that, so it's always littered with wards.
Yeah, and the thing is, too, since Dignitas just had 2 people mid on the bottom side, and Pobelter left mid lane, they should be able to deduce that that Pobelter is on the top side of the map, because he's not bottom side, and he just left mid. So mid turret, though, takes a beating. Kassadin, no wave clear, short range.
Nothing else to really be said about that. However, they do want to bring in the gank. The Ignite will take him down, even with that pot he just pumped in. It's going to be Helios going down as well. One last attack. It is going to be enough to take him down. Now on to Imagine. Forced to flash over the wall. Core JJ should be able to pick this one up. They have the Sivir ulti on. A few last attacks. The Storm Shield. They pulled third. Oh, he gets it. Just a tip.
Ooh. Core JJ. Bullseye at the end. And Imagine, no, the thing is, Imagine there's not really any way he was going to be able to save Helios. Anyway, he did his best to try and save his teammate, but it cost him his own life.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit overzealous there in the mid lane, trying to counter kill, and they end up giving 3 kills just for taking down Kassadin. Not only 3 kills, but whenever you have 3 people off the map, really easy for the enemy to take the objective afterwards. And mid-turn going down could spell quite a few problems, as they will be able to get all of that vision around both sides. The Cloudwind able to get the damage and a bit of a move block there with the. So right here,
Another Ignite.
he Imagine. Oh, he didn't really have vision of Core JJ coming up, I guess. They have wards deep in the river, but yeah.
The turn.
Doesn't really try and dodge that one, but very difficult to get out of the way anyway. Good kill for Core JJ. BF sword straight into the Zeal.
Dignitas
go static shift
They're able to pick up some
on Sivir.
nice little plays there. That would be huge. They can start pushing these waves that much more. Core JJ is going to be a big factor here in this team fight. Like we said, getting that Sivir pickup was big for them this game. That play on Pobelter, very nicely done by Cloudwind and Shifter in mid. Kind of playing off the aggression that Pobelter was constantly walking up to the turret and just auto-attacking it. Gave him that false sense of security, and Dignitas has been finding these little ways to also get themselves back in. Shifter now charging the Rod of Ages, so may see a little bit of a lull if he just goes to the other sides of the lanes and starts farming up.
Because of the roam up mid, though, from Dignitas, where they piled in everybody up mid, the bottom turret went down off screen here.
Right. Good call.
Altec was able to stay down in the bottom lane, get some extra creeps, as well as take down that bottom turret. So they have been able to open up the map a little bit more. And now that the map is open, using Rek'Sai's mobility as well as vision control, trying to prep for Ahri, they should be trying to prep areas for Pobelter to be able to pull off a pick.
Right.
Because Ahri, especially with the range nerfs, really wants to use Fog of War to her advantage.
Well, they have decent wards for this fight on the side of Winterfox in both
And Crab?
Team Dignitas, respectively. A few of those wards are over the wall if they do need to chase a fight or continue the kill.
I don't usually like dropping a pink ward when the crab is already secured by your enemies. The speed shrine gives a really big advantage if there is a fight to break out around that dragon, so that pink ward really hard to defend, and Dignitas do give it up to Winter Fox. Teleports from both top laners are available as we circle around dragon.
Exactly what I was looking at. We saw Avalon just walking towards the river, but it looks like he was just going ahead and making sure nobody was up top with him. And Gamsu, those teleports ready to be used. Altec and the rest of the team set up for a bushwhack here in the middle of the river, trying to ambush onto Dignitas.
Gamsu just continuing to bully Avalon.
It's going back and forth now. It seems like with that Frozen Heart, he's able to take a bit more of the damage onto Cloud Win. This is that vision they've already placed, and it's actually almost dead, so they tried to make a move on it just before they lose it. Nothing coming.
Looks like they're giving up ground, though.
Yeah.
You know, as Gamsu comes down for this, Dignitas should be able to secure that vision around Dragon. Nobody checking the bush, though. Pink ward stays in there until Core JJ finds it.
Well,
Gamsu down here, though. They should be forcing this one, so they want to kill the dragon quickly, and then maybe have enough time for Gamsu to even teleport back up.
Avalon
If
actually
Avalon
stepped
joined.
off the turret.
Joined.
He's going in for the teleport. A great monsoon's going to put them right where Avalon comes in, and they're going to be able to deliver damage from the back line, completely zeroing out Dignitas there. The teleport was fantastic into the Scion ultimate, and the cleanup there from Winterfox.
Well, then. That'll be the mid-game.
Yeah, that was clean.
4 kills for 1 here. Winterfox, stack number 2 on the dragon buff. Complete control. They can shove both of these waves and go back and purchase. Let's take another look at that one.
That monsoon put everybody right by Avalon.
So they're tanking the dragon. Everybody jumps in on Imagine, and he does get a good disengage. Look at Kiwi Kid's hook as well. Even with the hook landing on Altec. So much power coming in. Avalon. This is why they like the Shin Brothers with the Heart CC. Prepping it for Pobelter to get AoE damage off. Woo! Just a well-played team fight.
Woo, indeed. Avalon coming out big that time, and the team was able to respond. That's what we've been looking for. Winterfox. It's been disjointed a lot. That's what it looks like when they're on the same page.
And he's proving himself on the champions with less reliable hard CC.
Yeah.
You know, that close, though, Scion Ultimate. High rate of success. Good play there from Winterfox to capitalize on Dignitas starting up that dragon. And it does, you know, put a halt to that bullying, especially up top lane. Frozen Heart now finished for Avalon. Gonna be a bit more difficult for Gamsu to continue his spam push.
Yeah. He's been walking out of a lot of this crowd control now because the trade's not going in his favor all that well. You can see a few hundred HP knocked off just from Roar the Slayer. And the rest of the team is well ready to take down this top turret. Somewhat being read here by Dignitas, but everybody backs off at the same time.
Yeah,
Ward on
with the last 2 top outer turrets standing for both teams up top, everybody have their eyes turned
like the
towards
mid lane
those.
now.
Yeah, it's like the outer turrets are just so much easier to take down than all of the other turrets. It's just gold kind of standing there. And both teams do hover around up towards the top side.
Well, looks like we actually have Shifter splitting in the bottom with that pressure that Dignitas just relieved, really only having Gamsu up there. They feel safe to get a split push going down, at least to get Shifter a little bit bigger and charged up. He did have a hard time CSing here against Pobelter in the mid lane. 161 to 131. Also, we said that Rod of Ages is charging up, so Dignitas biding their time until they can get into that fight form, or at least just catch somebody on a rotation.
As of right now, though, it looks like they're trying to establish vision control first. Mentioned the importance there for Winter Fox, trying to find a pocket for Pobelter to work with. Shoving up both lanes as well. Graves and Ari have an easy time of it. And although Kassadin, if left unattended, can clear waves fairly easily with his Force Pulse, under pressure, it's a very difficult time of doing it.
Still waiting for the plays from Winter Fox. Pobelter on an assassin this game, so it's not something they have to worry about. Previously, we saw them putting him on things like Lulu, and just things he can't make plays on was not the Winter Fox way. Here he's had a pretty good game. Looks like he may be going back to finish up what would be Zanya, so he doesn't get zeroed out in these dive fights. We will have to see. Actually, Rabadon's right off the bat. He had enough cash to put in the power, so he goes for that extra percentage. Pobelter is definitely looking to make plays.
Yeah, interesting build, rushing for the magic resist first on his Abyssal Scepter, even though the only magic damage really going to be coming from Shifter. But did help him out in the laning phase. And of course it will give that magic reduction in an area effect, so help outside a little bit. And both AD carries look to be going for static shifts probably. Avalon doing his best to hold on to this turret though.
Yeah, he's just going to walk away before he has to use his ultimate to get away. The other side of the map is going to be pressured by Altec and Imagine as they see that focus of resources top here from Dignitas, but I don't know if they'll be able to come up with the same result. A lot of members of Dig are here to stop this turret push. Have a pretty good mini wave and one just at the river.
Oh, that hook.
Grab on Helios.
Well,
he was not expecting any type of aggression there. He just got hooked, plain and simple.
Yeah, he's a jungler with very few defensive items, just the giant spells to his name at the moment, and walking right up to Kiwi Kid is just disrespectful, I feel like. And Kiwi Kid makes him pay for it really quickly.
Definitely a play that they will not be doing again. Getting a little ahead of themselves in the bottom lane. But Dignitas, with that, had a good rotation to get back into position, seeing what Winter Fox is doing here to try and stave off the lead that they have. And Pobelter hasn't really been too active. He's been just farming the mid lane here.
And if we are keeping an eye on Team Dignitas and their allocation of champions, their wave clear comes from J, from that Sivir. So where they position him is going to be really telling. Because they really don't have a lot of wave clear from either of their solo laners, both of them being melee. I mean, Necton can do it, but he'll have to take damage in return. So, JJ, the safest of them, and it was a pretty defensible position in that bottom lane. I think that was just a lapse there from Winter Fox, bit of a blunder. We'll see, though, Dignitas establishing some decent vision control, not only defensive, but also a little bit into the enemy blue side jungles for both teams.
They get what they want. It'll be nice for this dragon coming up. Number 3 on the board.
So Winter Fox going to try and draw Dignitas over with the double pink ward coverage. Once again, Avalon has teleport, and once again, there are deep wards for him to teleport on right into the enemy team. Sivir does have ultimate, and Dignitas, if they can split up Winter Fox.
Altec gets caught out on this. He's able to quick draw right out of the Cataclysm. A few more shots. He gets the damage needed on Shifter for the Ignite to burn down. Imagine getting himself away to stay alive. Tries to crowd control the rest of the fight so the rest of Winter Fox can get away, but there might be enough chase here. One last lockup. Helios, he flashes out. Gamsu is dead set on killing her right now, but Helios able to get out of that one, and it looks like Dignitas is also forced to turn around.
Right, so it is a 2 versus 2, but both carries for Winter Fox went down, Altec and Pobelter, so Dig are the team that retain control of the area and get to clear out some of the pink wards. They're actually returning to the scene of crime. Since nobody was able to take the objective, likely to see a repeat fight here. Still a lot of ward control for Winter Fox, but not in that bush.
Oh, Avalon No, Helios went the other way. He's able to get out. He's a beefy guy.
So once again, we keep on cautioning against all these teams that keep picking Sivir plus Kassadin are looking to split you up. When you're at an objective like that, if WinterFox isn't ready, good job by Dignitas, Team Dignitas, to pop that Sivir ultimate and jump on them, try and split them very quickly. That being said, if you watched Altec's positioning in that last team fight, he did not panic. Right after both Shifter and CoreJJ jumped in on him, even Cloud9 was right in his face with the Cataclysm. He stayed just out of melee range, knowing that all of the dashes had just been used, and he got off.
Still to get that one shot on
He got off
Shifter.
every single auto attack you could squeeze out of that fight. Here it comes again, though. Again, Sivir ultimate.
Same spot, a little bit of deja vu here. Great dodges by Pobelter to get out of the way of Kiwi Kid. A little bit of chaos here as Avalon makes his way back to the fight. Helios on the bottom side. Cloud9 focuses Dragon, gets the Dragon, and gets the first one over for Dignitas, as they may now have what it takes to get this fight in their favor. They have pushed off WinterFox, and Avalon standing tall as the Lumberjack goes down finally. They're going to make sure. Oh, can he get it?
Going for the crab.
Get the crab. Get it.
Kiwi Kid.
You are so BM, man. Wow. The guy's dying wishes was to get the crab.
No last meal.
Nope.
For Avalon.
That
But man, once again, they Sivir ultimate, they split up WinterFox, and Cloud9 left his Cataclysm there. He trapped Helios inside, in range of the Dragon. So he was taking Dragon DPS in that whole time. Plus we had the comical Scion ultimate right through the entire screen, which was always fun to watch. Crashing the wall.
You hit some, you miss some. That's life. Let's see it again.
So, again, WinterFox are a bit split up, and Dig, they make the call, they jump on Altec, and then he's going to try and get out here, leave Helios taking Dragon damage, and they turn their DPS up towards the other side. They split up the WinterFox team, and then watch Pobelter on top. Shifter jumps right in, takes him out, and makes him pay for that initiation. The two-pronged assault here from WinterFox.
Very warm. Very warm team.
You gotta you gotta make sure that everyone needs some winter socks. Not in LA though, it doesn't ever get cold.
No.
Ever. Alright, so Dragon down though, they finally were able to take it afterwards.
Oh, finally. That was one heck of a back and forth fight. That's what we're gonna get out of these teams, I believe, throughout the game. We did see that Dignitas was really able to assess that one a little bit better. But we saw WinterFox was coming from the bottom of the Dragon, from the top of the Dragon. And I think if Pobelter was on the same side as that side of the team, it would have been different.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a good strategy to have Ari coming in from a flank, but the rest of the team's so separated. And he didn't have vision of Shifter. So Shifter, whenever you have two assassins fighting, whoever has the vision advantage and gets the jump, usually going to come out ahead in that fight.
So the gold 25 minutes in here, teetering on pennies, slowly going in favor of WinterFox, and Dig catches back up. See who can really start to get a lead here. This is when it happens in the mid game. Looking to who could make those impact plays. We've been looking at Cloud9 and Shifter to make some catches. Looks like Dig has been setting up the damage in the forward part of WinterFox's jungle to make that happen. WinterFox, however, power in numbers is stopping those picks from happening. So just keep it safe for now.
Yep, keeping it safe. Cloud9 and Kiwi Kid. Jarvan and Thresh are such a good combo at keeping the vision war up, cleaning out this side of the jungle, because not only does Jarvan have a built-in dash, but he can also use that lantern. The cleanup crew, keeping the rift clean, taking out the trash.
Saw them doing that earlier with a few lantern plays in Cloud9. Gamsu pushing up nicely to the top side. He'll draw some pressure, but this is the easier part that WinterFox would be able to defend, just going from top to mid right across their own jungle. No vision there for Dignitas, so they have to be careful.
Yeah, and Team Dignitas is going to start worrying about the status of this Scion. 2 tank items in. His next one is either going to be the Blade Mail or Thorn Mail, or it's going to be the Sunfire Cape. So either way, the next item here from Avalon will do damage in some capacity. And he's already ridiculously hard to take down.
Yep, definitely Sion fitting his style of champion play. Hasn't played it yet. This is his first one on the split, and he's definitely doing well on it for the team, getting in places that Dig doesn't really want him in the fights. This time, they're all going to be walking 5 down mid lane, so there's no teleport to come in. Missed opportunity on the hook there, but I don't know. So much missed, rather. They didn't want to take that fight.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the worst champion to hit it on, as Avalon's main goal is to take all the hooks from this point on. But jungler, probably the second worst. So they do not take it, don't want to go in on that. Good call there from Dignitas.
Yep.
Once again, they'd still like to split up the team and use their Silver Ultimate speed to their advantage so they can corner someone. The other thing is that with Sivir assisted speed, they can run circles around Sion, and they're going to do their best to dodge all those skill shots. A little bit of a different build here, though, for AD carries. For JJ, Phantom Dancer going to have a lot more big crits coming from his Infinity Edge than the Static Shiv of Altec. But Altec will have pretty big burst on that. Auto attack QR combo from Graves, which can surprise somebody and is really strong against champions like Kassadin, who are going to be jumping in and out. And you don't get a long window to deal damage over time. You got to rely on that burst. So Altec going to pack a punch. But for JJ looking to stay alive the entire fight.
Yeah, run around.
That AoE down.
The perfect positioning for him. Altec looking at that impact damage, really, for 2 sides. The farm still staying even between those AD carries, really. It's Pole Belter that's pulled away in that fashion, and it shows in his items as well as a few of the kills. He's pretty big with that Void Staff now tacked onto the Rapidons and the Abyssal. Really shredding the magic resistance of his opponents. Winterfox heading over to Dragon. Looks to be slightly contested here, but I don't know if it's going to be a fight. May just be a quick catch out. Wow, Cloudwing goes in with 4 members right in front of him. Pole Belter again on the top side. This is just like the last fight. Can they recuperate? Pole Belter over the wall, uses one of his Spirit Rushes to get back into position. Shifters out of the fight as they start to head inside Dignitas' jungle now. And it doesn't look like Team Dignitas can get back in this one. Shifter dives right into the middle, trying to spread the AoE. Able to turn around and pick himself up a kill. Nicely done onto Helios. And Team Dignitas are able to dance this one out. They do-si-do back and forth. Avalon stays alive as he is just drinking potions left and right. Gamsu and Pole Belter go for the chase now, coast to coast. And Gamsu, without hitting the slice, will not be able to dice. Call to Meek gets him not enough range for the kill. But that was chaotic, and Dig comes up nicely.
They are heading over towards Baron right now. This is a 30-minute Baron with everybody at half HP. Core JJ does have a Vamp Scepter. Ah, the teleport. There you go.
There's 2 teleports to be had in this one. Sign Ultimate is not up, but there's a lot of luck. Shut him down. Will their Void Rush be coming in? That is down. Helios won't be able to get there in time, and this is probably going to be a dead Avalon. The team may be able to actually make an impact. Pole Belter, Spirit Rush is down. He kind of just walks in and high-fives Gamsu for a second. The charm misses, and the Dark Passions to safety for Gamsu.
All credit to Team Dignitas here. See if they can actually get out without a single casualty. Looks like they'll be fine and just forfeit their outer turret. What a great trade there. Winterfox in the Dragon fight did actually get the Dragon before they were split up. But once again, Dignitas, they come down, Silver Ultimate, split up the team. Pole Belter had to go all the way around the Dragon pit, and he used one of his Spirit Rush charges to get over the Dragon wall. Right, so let's see them charge in. Cloudwind jumps in once again, Cataclysm, and then EQs out to leave them in there. And the Zhonya's from Shifter. Winterfox are left standing there. Pole Belter had to walk all the way around the Dragon Pit, use 1 Spirit Rush to get in there. And Core JJ stayed alive the entire time to kite. With Altec going down, the re-engage very easy for Dig. They had them fully surrounded and are able to collapse. It's the divide and conquer strategy here from Dignitas in the mid-game teamfights over and over, paying off really well. And even though the Dragon did go down, able to get the bigger neutral objective. Let's see what they can do with it, though. They still have the short-range AD carry and the no-range AP mid.
Yeah, that Shifter Rift, pretty man mode in that fight to turn it around. As they
I thought he still had Zhonya's up going in like that, but he didn't. He just judged the damage output. They only had the tank left there.
That's
Went
something
right to
we
his face.
haven't been seeing from Shifter a lot. Usually he'll be only okay with doing that when he can clean up the kills and go in safely. Doing that, definitely see an old style Shifter where he was playing big time. Good to see from them. A lot of the mid laners here in the spring split from these teams we have now like to make plays. Pole Belter being one of them, so at some point you're going to have to match that power. Dignitas, however, Team Dignitas in this game, now 3K gold ahead, already trying to make plays on the second tier turrets here. Nice job from Kiwi Kid on the outside. Pole Belter again with these flank plays. It's really the only way they have to get back at Dignitas' force.
All right, so they're going to rely on the Baron up minions. This cannon minion will slowly do work for them. Throwing out the Sivir and Koresh skill shots is about all they can do. I mean, they don't have a banner of command. It's still so hard for them to press in and actually damage one of these turrets. They have one of the shortest range teams I've ever seen.
Man, just here.
Good luck to them.
So creepy. 33-20 from the brush. Avalon tries to lock one down. Helios gets hooked again as he puts himself on the front line there. Takes about 75% of his HP. A great Cataclysm locking Avalon into the fight. Cloudwind does it again with the zoning control.
So Kiwi Kid starts it off. Skill shot lands onto Helios, baiting them in for the fight. And once again, Cloudwind on the Jarvan. Ult in, EQ out. Classic to leave the terrain.
That
block up.
That's
There's
helping.
nowhere for Avalon.
That's the definition of helping.
He's definitely. This is probably the best game from Cloudwind that I've seen since he has joined the team as a sub.
Yeah.
He definitely had some hiccups coming in. Definitely seems to be coming in into his own on this team. Communication with everyone else working out much better. He is still making those plays that they wanted from him. Let's see here. So the hook from Kiwi Kid to start it off. They get the big chunk out. He also is able to get the Thresh box up, so the re-engage not quite there. There's Cloudwind, blocks off everybody with the box and the Cataclysm. They literally blocked off the entire lane there. So Kiwi Kid and Cloudwind, the support and the jungler, the two most underpaid roles on a team, able to block off the entire lane and zone the whole team, buying them enough time to take down this tank. And that's the importance of knowing the power of zoning, especially if you play one of these roles that are so underpaid.
That's right. You don't have to have an awesome score to be doing big things for the team. Cloudwind, so he's going to solo farm. I like it. Just down here hanging out.
Jungler getting solo farm? Gimme. Why isn't he clearing that faster? EQ that sucker. Clean it up.
Take it all. Winter Fox looking to patch up a few of these holes now. Figure out how Dignitas continues to do this to them. We're 36 minutes on the match. The gold lead is going from 3 to 4,000, actually 4,500.
Durgon up again.
It's all about the vision control. That's right. We're about to fight the Durgon.
And let's watch the Sivir once again. I don't know why teams keep giving Team Dignitas Sivir. It's such a core strategy for them.
Ha 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 ha. Dragon. Second one going over to Dignitas, number 5 on the game. Winter Fox is going to dictate mid lane on this. Kind of Dignitas-esque on that, actually. See Dignitas do that quite a few times. Other teams, Avalon ringing the dinner bell from all the way across the map. He hits Gamsu straight in the kisser with that one. But is it a fight the team can get on here? Gamsu, that's in. Cloudwind looks for the Cataclysm. He gets Avalon, separating the team again. Nobody can get to the back line, and Winter Fox is just getting melted down.
I'll take his up, though.
Forced to flash out.
And he's down.
Core JJ and the rest of the team on the other side. Shifters there now to take down Avalon. He is one tanky mofo. Probably going to be able to walk out of the fight alone by himself. They leave him standing, but he is continuously watching his team go down.
Shifter. Oh, he stacked up too many rift blocks. Can't continue the chase.
You got 14,000 mana. You can do it.
It is so difficult. Once you get up to 4 and 5 stacks, you're just like, all right, run away. We're done here. I'll just go ahead and take turrets. Objective focus from Dignitas after that team fight win. Once again, chasing down Winter Fox. This one, they actually just used the gold lead that they've been able to accrue after the last few team fights and just brute force straight ran into Winter Fox's face.
Yep.
Good dive there from Gamsu. Also get a really big chunk down.
Kiwi Kid's been so
Whoa, he ulted after that.
To Avalon this game.
Kiwi Kid just scared the bejesus out of Avalon. Never mind, he's going to farm.
Yeah,
the farm ult.
Yeah. All right, Avalon. Trucking it. Core JJ's like, no! Boom, right to Gamsu.
Hit a target. All right. So Dignitas, they get actually quite a few seconds of basically free DPS on the tank.
Yeah.
We got a big chunk out of Avalon. Let's watch this dive, because there's a big chunk out of Altec as well. Gamsu jumps on him. I want to see what the burst is from. Oh my goodness, yeah, Shifter
Force
got,
Pulse.
it was
and
Shifter
Pull Up
combo.
Beat. Yep.
So both solo lanes jumped on him. And then,
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be able to stay alive, but these chunks from Core JJ, big crits for everybody. You really don't notice the Sivir area of effect damage until
Oh,
you're
little
getting
pop.
crit in this late
Yeah,
game
yeah.
by all of those ricochets. Everybody getting chunked down.
Dignitas making big plays now. Core JJ at 5, 1, and 11. Almost on maxed out items for him. He's got a few more to go as one of his slots is taken up by a pink ward, and you could always sell your boots. That's an option. Winter Fox is still looking to gain control here. They know things are becoming very dire for them with the power that Dignitas is starting to bring to the table. Just about wards is all they can do. We were talking about how Dig would have a hard time getting to the turrets. If they can keep finding these fights, those turrets aren't long for this world.
Yeah, they're all about killing turrets once they've already taken
Right.
champions down or Baron down. So, first step is gain ward control and try and bait. They've got Kassadin and Sivir, extremely good at chasing people down. Kiwi Kid has been very accurate with his hooks as well. And here comes the chase.
Got him. That was the orb, the scrying orb used to actually initiate that.
Ooh.
They didn't have vision of him, so they were really wanting that fight. Avalon's going to be coming in from the backside. This could give the team enough time to come in. Pole Belter's actually backing here, and Winter Fox is still trying to take the fight.
I feel like we need to put out a PSA. Teams cannot flank teams with Sivir on them. Do not try and flank if your opponents have Sivir. If you come in from two different sides, all that the team of Sivir has to do is pop the ultimate and run at one of the sides.
Whoa, they are really going for broke on this one, Kobe. They said it's all or nothing. They're definitely going to die in the base. Shifter, sliver of health, he gets out, able to rift to safety, and somehow Winter Fox has actually gotten outside the base as well. I thought the door was shut for them, but Altex finds a way to squeak through. Gotta watch out for Pole Belter. Thought he was going to come in for a big plate, but his Spirit Rush is down, and they'll be exiting the fight. This could mean Baron for Dig.
Yep, that's the thing. While they were able to make a strong play mid, try and get down Inhibitor, they only got the turret, and, well, no, they're not done here.
Oh, that's a big Kassadin.
They're done.
That is a big Kassadin. Shifter 1v1ing Pole Belter when he thought he had a moment to breathe. Baron as well. Every member for Dig is up, and you're still waiting 50 seconds for Pole Belter and 20 on Helios. Imagine. Dig has a lot of time to work the map, get whatever wards they want down. It's going to be tough for Winter Fox to pull themselves back into this.
Oh, Altec on the run. Shifter.
Uh-oh.
Base gates.
Yep. They knew he was only relying on those auto attacks with no mana.
Hey, they did get the Sivir ultimate down. The only problem now is that there's Baron on the other team, and it's so late in the game. The gold lead ballooning to 10K. Not 10K, excuse me. Yes, 10K.
Yeah.
Give or take 100.
It's that far. It's a little bit of a wow factor, especially 40 minutes in. It's because we don't see these types of gold leads this season. Without Dragon giving you all the gold that you usually get from the past seasons, it's a little bit harder to find that lead in the gold area if you're not getting tons of kills.
Well, mid inhibitor is still down, so they can turn their attention towards one of the side lanes. Now, both of them do have secondary turrets up as well, so pick and choose. Pretty much the furthest lane away from Baron is always the best choice. You just get so much more late game pressure if you're able to knock down turrets on this bottom side.
Baron down, so they're happy to be here. Void Rush up for Helios, so he's going to try and get these lanes a little bit of breathing room. He doesn't even really want to go that far out. He's looking for the fight maybe, but not farming top wave. All right, we're going to Helios anymore.
No, he's just
like hanging out up top.
Well, he's trying to push waves because they're.
Well, he was, but for a second he was teetering back and forth like he was about to see somebody up there, wasting a little bit of time. They are definitely playing this safe. So safe that can't really approach this Dragon. 42 minutes on the clock, and Dignitas is running away with this one. 3 of 6 Dragons, 2 of 2 Barons. We might even go to a full 5 this game because it may be hard for Team Dignitas to break the turrets here as you see them approach. You really want to tank them up.
All right, not
Maybe
that
they
hard.
do. They're like, maybe we won't tank it. Forget it. They're not even approaching us. Gamsu big enough to make sure that goes down without too much trouble. So Dignitas is going to stay, and they're not afraid to tank these turrets. I was wrong.
Yeah, and actually, Cloud-Wind has 207 armor. So Gamsu barely has more armor than him, 267. Gamsu did build very offensively on this Renekton. Not just full tank here, because they needed extra damage output as well. So he's provided quite a lot of threat, backline threat on Altec in the fights, as we've seen. He's been comboing the dive with Shifter, trying to get back to Altec and remove that threat. Here comes the Sivir ultimate, though. Looking for another early engage.
It's at least enough for the inhibitor, right?
Find anybody but a tank, and they shove him straight off.
So that's the plan now. Brute force for Dignitas, and it looks like it's working very well. They tie the dragons, as they did just previously, so it's definitely going to have to be a game of 4 and 5 now if they can't break the base and take the win before that. 6-5 in turrets, which means 5 more stand on the, or 6 more rather, stand on the map for Winter Fox. It's a good fight though, Kobe. I think Dignitas could just walk down that mid lane and take it.
Definitely on the table. JJ also working on a Banshee's Veil. Sivir plus Banshee's Veil, so hard to deal with. Too many spell shields there, so
yep.
That plus Bloodthirster shield. JJ will be doing a lot of sustained damage in this team fight.
She just finished up that Banshee's Veil as he comes out of the base. They'll start to push the top wave now. We can see that's what JJ has his focus on, and I expect to see Cloud-Wind starting to set up a bit of vision here in the deep part of the jungle. Find it! Oh, he's gonna have time. So the Wisp obviously checking him out. See if Winter Fox can make a play on this. They've been having a hard time getting the flank in, and Pole Belter is just coming out of base, so it looks like they're going to have to wait until they approach the turret.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, too, with Winter Fox, like they can't even realistically pull off a pick anymore. Because JJ, with the Bloodthirster plus the Banshee's Veil, every member on Dignitas is fairly tanky. So even if Pole Belter catches someone out, unless it's Shifter, they cannot overcommit. So even if that charm does land, it's a rough game here for Winter Fox. Just a bit too far behind at this point. And here they come, circling around. There's one charm that does land, though. Can they lock him up? Okay.
Wow, that was consistent. He had no time to even blink. We lose Cloud-Wind here for Team Dignitas. That's going to be Pole Belter going in. He gets exploded by Shifter. The turret's already gone down as well. And Winter Fox is trying to turn tail on this. JJ nicely on the backside, not taking too much damage. Gamsu is a beast, diving through the back line to lock them up, stop them up, and Winter Fox running for the hills. They can't even head back towards their base on this one. This may be the fight that Dignitas was looking to fly down that mid lane with.
That's why it's really frustrating sometimes to play Scion, because even though you get to become this super tanky, almost unkillable champion, the enemy team will often just ignore you, and then after they've killed all of your friends, come back to clean you up.
Well, onto the Nexus turrets. It's just Helios. He could provide a bit of crowd control, but it would probably be with his life. He's doing what he can to at least deter them. Having a nice chat as Dignitas takes down the Nexus turrets, really thwarting off a nice early game for Winter Fox here. Team Dignitas able to pick up the win in 46 minutes over Winter Fox.
Yeah, great team play from Team Dignitas in this game. Really, really understanding the Sivir and Kassadin strengths.
Good shakes all around, smiles from Dignitas. Definitely a hard-fought win. Shifter looking good on the Kassadin. Cloud-Wind coming out of the jungle. A lot more communication from him. Solid plays. His cataclysms were a huge reason that Team Dignitas was able to take the fights they were in the mid-game.
I was definitely a fan. Fan of the zoning from both
as a jungler,
Cloud-Wind and Kiwi.
I assume he would.
They still have a lot of work cut out for them, though. They are in the bottom half of the standings. And as we pass that halfway point, you want to put as much distance between you and the bottom as you possibly can.
That's right.
Nobody wants to get left down there at number 10.
Nope, it's good for these guys. to get wins on teams that they've also lost against. Winter Fox was able to pick up the win the first time these guys played, so Dignitas a little vindicated on this one. They feel good about it. And the play coming out of Cloud-Win again, him and Core JJ with the Sivir going into the Dignitas composition. They seemed as they knew what they were doing the whole time. They didn't put themselves in any scary positions, and they played it well when the ultimates were up. That's something that was big for them.
Always fun to see Kiwi Kid all smiles as well. Actually, even in a defeat, he's usually smiling, so nothing new there.
That's true. See the coach very happy about this one.
I believe that's his Sivir invitation.
Sivir,
Then you ran fast like this.
Oh, that's, yeah. It's Gamsu. See him at the top. It could have been him Scion running.
Yeah.
He's like, this is
That
what
was
you look
Avalon,
like.
though.
You're Scion. Oh, you're right. So we're all wrong.
He was
Forget
like,
it.
when you get Sivir, butt.
You just got to run. Great play coming out of Dignitas throughout the whole game. They focused on keeping things in control. And I know that sounds very easy, but it's something that we've seen Team Dignitas lack. We've seen Winter Fox lack. It comes out in the mid game where the warding goes away. You forget about the small things, and whatever 2,000 gold lead their opponent had becomes 5,000. Just insurmountable, and then we see these teams lose. But they seem to be shoring up those holes, and it's good that it's happening now at the turnaround of the split.
Yeah, all team fight play there from Team Dignitas. Consistently able to split off the enemy threats and divide them and take them down.
So seeing, obviously, Winter Fox came out with a pretty great composition. They played it well in the early game. What could they have done to make this composition work once they saw Dig getting a lead?
Well, I mean, they probably needed to control vision better. Try and make something more out of Pobelter and this Ahri, because that's where they find wins. When Pobelter absolutely takes over a game, Team Dignitas has shut down Pobelter really well.
Well, we'll see. Imagine coming in with him. Winter Fox goes 1-1 on the week. Definitely a help to the team. We've seen a bit more control in the bottom lane. Glebe played well, but filling a hole is always, or filling a position, it's not really a hole, right? They were waiting for Imagine, is always difficult. It's good to see these teams getting them in now. I keep mentioning that it is the halfway of the split, but this is when things need to be turned around. And now that all the rosters are in place, hopefully teams can start to buckle down.
Yeah, Imagine coming in. He's still adjusting as
And
well
the
to the
coach.
time change.
Yeah.
He came in. He was still tired yesterday, but he performed really well in the first game on that Annie with the flash initiations. This time around on the Janna, not as big of an impact. So maybe they'll look to have him play more of a proactive role, more of an offensive support style.
Very true. Still looking at a few of the back and forth in the lanes. All of our games today actually went quite long. Very back and forth. Had how many dragons in them today? I think we've seen the most competition for dragons coming out, and teams really respecting the lane swaps, how to play that. We didn't see too much of the versatility, and somebody tweeted me that Lost Boy did it as well as whoever played Morgana yesterday in switching up who gets the 2v1. Leaving your support in one lane, and then faking out the guys to get the lane you want. There's a lot of different things we've been seeing in the spring split, and so far, it's kind of the same old. Who's going to be the first one to get the diverse start of the game?
Yeah, and of course they are setting up for the interview.
Yep.
Takes a while to get over there, and
Gotta make them look
get
pretty.
your makeup on, do your hair,
Yeah. It's
look
good.
over your questions. Dash is trying to figure out
Let me
what went right for them that game.
A lot of things went right. The team fighting went right, which means that obviously Dignitas is on the up and up with communication. One of the things that they said they needed to do, we heard
definitely.
Kiwi Kid in the beginning say, Cloud-Win, I said this before, is a guy we can bounce things off of, get that feedback that we need that, they lacked with Crumbs, and that Kiwi said may have even lacked before, just not having that in general.
And they're just looking for incremental improvement with him. A lot of the guys were very happy with him in general on the team, and we have seen that improvement.
Can't change too much at one time. The guys on the desk are ready, so we're going to send it over to Dash, who's joined by two members, Team Dignitas.
You call me fat?
Thank you, Riv. I want to welcome Kiwi Kid and Cloud-Win after a pretty solid victory there over Winter Fox. It's got to feel good. Immediately, I want to ask Kiwi Kid about the dynamic within the team, bringing Cloud-Win in, both on stage, like in games, as well as in the house.
Honestly, I'm just going to be frank. I'm trying to sugarcoating everything. Honestly, it's pretty terrible. Like, man, there's just it's just everybody hates losing, and we're not really dealing with it well. And there's like this vibe, like, hormonal like adolescents just like running around, and we're all just like really kind of like reverse punked because we were just losing. And man, like I don't know if we know how to solve conflicts right, and there's language barrier that really sucks. But you know, we're like trying to go through it, and I mean, adversity builds character, I suppose. But no, it hasn't. It's definitely not been the brightest road I've been through.
That's fair. Cloudwin, coming into an environment like this, do you feel the same one, and do you feel like that environment can change?
I didn't think it was that bad, but yeah, I think we don't have a coach, so when we have a difference in opinion, I'll be like, this is how you do it, and Kiwi will be like, this is how you do it. But then there's no person to like settle it. So then when this conflict comes up, we just don't know how to deal with it. Yeah. And eventually, sometimes it can lead to like players like offending each other because they think they're better than the other player, saying that their opinion's better.
Right, and you've come in kind of into a shot calling role. So how does that, I mean, there is a bit of a hierarchy when you're in game as a shot caller. Do you find that there's conflict there, or do you guys work well when you're in the actual game scenario?
Well, like, I think everyone pulls a bit of shot calling, and it's kind of hard because everyone's has mixed opinions, but usually I'll do the shot calling, and then everyone just listens because no one else doesn't really mind anything.
Right. Well, that's good.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the idea. Everyone just listens. So, Kiwi, I want to touch on it again with you, though, in that do you think that there are lessons that you can impart as the veteran player, one of the longest-standing members on Dignitas, along with Shifter as well, to some of the newer players on the team in terms of the way that workflow and things operate in the LCS?
I think within the LCS, everybody just kind of, I think he's pretty much had it down. I think it's just really just acting basic and just like being at the right place at the right time is really important. The biggest thing I can impart to Cloud is like he's like a bloodthirsty solo queue player, and I know exactly how that feels. And I've always had to control that. I still have problems with that. I think that's my biggest problem with support, even still.
Yeah.
And no, I mean he's just getting into it, so we're just gonna let him feel it out first.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Cloud, what has the learning experience been like for you as you are coming out of solo queue right up to the big stage?
It was hard from. Let's see, the hardest part was probably just the communication, because before I was playing on a challenger team and we all had like really good communication, but then I come to Dignitas and I'm like, I have to like use the most basic English, and I'm like, and then sometimes like I can't hear them because they're pretty quiet people. But yeah, it's getting better. We're definitely getting better.
Well, you had some flashy plays today. No pun
Literally.
intended, or pun intended. Yeah, literally. Plenty of Jarvan flash knockups. What gives you the confidence to come out and play that way? Because we don't see that with every new player on this stage.
Because it's easy.
All right.
Oh my God.
There he is, just laying it out, laying it out for you.
Holy.
I do want to jump into our replay. We're going to go 36 minutes into the game. This is a fight that takes place kind of in the mid lane and trails up into the Dragon area. We're going to get that up on your screen. And what I kind of want to discuss here is the way that the shot calling works here. Because Avalon ends up engaging. Sivir ultimate gets blown. You guys decide to chase into the engagement. So, Kiwi, if you don't mind doing this for me.
Sure.
You'll see here, Avalon, this is when Avalon charges in, hits Gamsu.
Yeah. He charges in, I don't think he has really any follow-up, so we're like, okay, we're just gonna chunk him really quick. We know we can't kill him at this point, but we can do a lot of damage. And then we saw Outtech move in, instantly Core pops his ult, we just chase and chase. This is pretty good by Cloud. He didn't go for Outtech, which would have killed him for sure. He went for the closest target, Avalon. And we just went in. Gamsu just goes in, he doesn't give a...
Goes very ham.
He doesn't give a rat. Yeah, he just goes in. And then I actually hit a clutch hook right here in Ari in the middle of the team fight. I think that really sealed the deal. But no, just really solid team fight, and I'm really proud of Cloud. Like, I think before he would have like maybe tried to flash ult onto Graves.
Oh yeah,
like before.
For sure.
But now he's like gone so, like you can tell it's like been so like really like even relaxing to see how well like Cloud's been team fighting lately.
Right, so exercising a little bit of restraint there.
Yeah.
Bringing in Cloudwin, you guys are now 3-3. You've had 3 1-1 weeks in a row, which is, cannot be argued that is a better performance as you guys had in the first 2 weeks of the season. But you're still at the bottom of the table. So given that we're approaching the second half of the season here, where do you guys feel you can finish given the improvements that you're making?
I definitely think we can finish top 5 for sure. I think a lot of it's up to me. Like, I feel like sometimes some days I'm just like extremely focused, and just some days I'm just like, I just feel like I forget what I'm doing. And honestly, it's like, it really worries me because I'm like I've been always trying to fix that because I know I can have like super solid games, and I don't know. It's just something I've been having to tackle, but we definitely can finish up there for sure.
Kiwi has to be one of the greediest players I've ever played with. He will get a free kill bottom, and I'll be like, yo, Rek'Sai's on the bottom side of the map. And he'll stay. He'll be like,
Yeah,
we'll kill him too.
2v2.
Well, yeah, we'll kill him too. But then they trade 1-for-1 or die 2-0, and I'm like, oh, man, Kiwi, please.
Yeah.
Well, I have to assume wins like this, though, that you guys kind of have a breath of fresh air here, because I know, Kiwi, you kind of pointed to some internal issues, but pulling in those wins has to help relieve some of the pressure.
Sure. Yeah, like, I don't care, like, somebody can take off my pillows and I can sleep, like, on the floor if we just kept winning. Like, I can live without toilet paper if all we did was win. Man, like, winning is, like, gives you this feeling. It just releases all these, like, chemicals and these feel-goods. And, yeah, just, like, of course, winning just helps a lot. And I'm sure, like, any internal strife or problems will, like, definitely be like resolved or like dealt with if we just win. So winning is great.
Well, here's to winning, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations on that win. It was a well-fought one. Keep it tuned right here. After this quick break, we'll take to the Rift. We'll take to the Rift to watch Teammate battle it out against Coast. Don't go anywhere.
WinterFox versus Dignitas, game 3 here on the day. We've had some pretty crazy games so far. Core JJ should be able to pick this one up. They have the Sivir ulti on. A few last attacks. The Storm Shield. They both burn. Oh, he gets it. He's going in for the teleport. A great Monsoon's going to put them right where Avalon comes in, and they're going to be able to deliver damage from the back line.
Wait. Peel back.
Slowly.
Nice ult. Nice, Cloud.
Separating the team again. Nobody can get to the back line, and WinterFox is just getting melted down. It's gonna be Pobouts are going in. He gets exploded by Shifter. The turret's already gone down as well, and WinterFox is trying to turn tail on this. Team Dignitas able to pick up the win over WinterFox.